The bhikkhu should not be elated thinking he honors me, and though insulted. So the insulted means reviled or insulted by any of the 10 bases of insult. Later we shall see more deeply into this. We will discuss more about this. He should not nurture resentment. So he will not harbor. He will not keep any resentment, and should not be irritated. Then the next verse, he should not be intoxicated over food gained from others. He will properly wander in the world. So not intoxicated over food gained from others means when he gains gifts and food given out of faith by others, he is not intoxicated. He will not think, oh, now I am renowned, now I am famous, now I am one who gains offerings, like that. So intoxicated means he will not be intoxicated by his own vanity, pride, arrogance, conceit. Okay? So even though he may receive a lot, he will not arise arrogance, pride, vanity, and conceit over the big offerings that he gains, like that. So with this kind of person will properly wander in the world. Okay. So not hostile by let us see what we can what the Dhamma verses has reminded us to cultivate in the present in our present era, now that we are living. So we understand that if we want to properly wander in the world, if you want to properly stay in the world now to the maximum extent that we can, according to Dhamma, we have to try not to be hostile by speech, mind, and deed. Okay. Over here, I would like to bring up the 10 bases of anger. Okay, because not hostile means abandoning 3 kinds of misconduct, bodily, verbal, and mental. But of course, misconduct means by greed, hatred, and delusion. But over here, I would like to bring up 10 bases of anger. Okay, as an example, and we can go more into greed and delusion in the 367 verse. That one is about greed. But here we can talk a little bit about this. So 10 bases of anger, or 10 reasons for anger. So this is mentioned in the Anguttara Nikaya. I think it's chapters of 10. So what are they? So a person think, oh, they act for my harm. So once become angry. That means, oh, they have harmed me before. So one becomes angry. Second one, they are acting for my harm. Oh, they are harming me now. Then one gets angry. Third one, they will act for my harm. So that means in the future, this person will harm me. So one gets angry. When this is group by group, so let us discuss a little bit about this. So let us reflect when we get angry over others, right? Whether you're in the workplace, you're in the workplace, even if you are even sometimes in the meditation in the Buddhist community, right? People get angry because they saw some things, or they interacted with some people and some fellow meditators even, and maybe because of definitely because of unwise attention, then the others may cause some disturbance and harm to you or to others. Okay, so when they have harmed you before, whenever you think of it, last time they do like this to me, and then you get angry again. Then now they are trying to harm me. Now they are trying to use some dirty tricks on me. That person is a narcissist. He or she is controlling everyone to hit me, to do harm to me, like that. Or if thoughts like this, that person, future, why this person come to my monastery? In the future they will harm me if we are together in the same monastery. I don't want to go there. Have or not? Meditators lah, volunteers lah, devotees lah. Sure have one, I tell you. We have listened to so many of this. Like that. So what the Buddha says is right, Wow. So even, even 2,000 over years before, the Buddha already explained about this, So wonderful. So that's why we must recognize, if Buddha say this, then we should recognize that, I'm having this thought. This is anger thought. This thought will only make me angry. Then after that, we should try to purify the thoughts. That. And on how to purify the thoughts, we can explain later. So the next one, they acted for the harm of one who is pleasing and agreeable to me, maybe a good friend. Okay, so they have harmed my good friend before. And the next one, they are harming my good friend. Okay, and the sixth one, they will harm my good friend. Okay, so not only ourselves, even our good friends, if those despicable ones or the evil ones that you deem them to be, okay, when you see them and maybe they have harmed your good friend before, then you say, they harmed my good friend before, I also want to hate them, like that. Sometimes they may never harm you. Maybe they just harm your good friend. But because they harm your good friend tell you, so you also want to harm them. You get angry with them. Yeah? This happens to a lot of... this happens when there's a lot of gossip. This person last time say me like that. They try to bully me. They try to excommunicate me. They try to many. Like that, And those who are harming, they are harming your good friend. Then you want to take a stand. I want to be on my good friend's side. Then you take your good friend's side, like that. And they will act for the harm of one who is pleasing and agreeable to me. So, those gang, those 2 or those 3 or those 4. The gang of 6, whatever, they will harm my good friend if we are in the same monastery. How to do? I'm angry with them. Why they do like that? Like that. Yeah. And as just so happened that we talk about this. Actually, those evil tricks and deceptions can happen in many ways also. So, just happened to talk about this also reminded me of one scenario where a person, they call it a narcissist queen bee syndrome. That means this person is a narcissist. I think narcissist is something like they only think about themselves and they manipulate people around them. They manipulate people around them to only care about them. And this queen bee syndrome is like, in a community, then they have this person maybe have an excessive interest or admiration of themselves, and then they want to be the queen, queen mentality. So they gather up many good friends. Those who listen to them, those who follow them, then they're followers. And those who don't follow them, then they will try to, excommunicate lah. Then they try to excommunicate lah. They try to fight for all the benefits for their gang only and not for others lah. Some things like that. Sometimes even using dirty tricks also. And sometimes also they pretend that they are. This is what I think in the Chinese community we call the green tea or the white lotus. Those who understand, those who are familiar with the Chinese community, it is a kind of deception. They will pretend that they are very weak, or they will pretend that they are very good. And then after that, in order to get the support of those around them, act like, oh, I'm always being bullied. Oh, please help me. Oh, you're very good. You help me like that. Oh, the person that bullied me. Oh, don't be angry with that person. The more you tell them, the more they tell their followers not to be angry, the more angry the followers will be with the other person. So it is in a way a kind of a deception, and not honest, evil trick, to manipulate those around them, to fight and to excommunicate the other side, those that are maybe not familiar, just want to do things, but just want to be with themselves, but they, or maybe even just have different ideas. And they just want to, disturb the others like that. So whatever it is, there's a golden rule in the world of meditators, which is if we arise anger, if we get angry over anyone, even the evil ones, okay, if we get angry over them, and we want to harm them, we will always try to protect ourselves or something like that. Or, of course, protecting ourselves means protecting our meditation. That one is essential for meditators. But like overly guessing their ill intentions. Oh, they do like this. Do they have ill intentions? They do like that. Do they have ill intentions? For example, maybe they never tell you something. Do they have ill intentions? Or maybe they buy a lot of milk tea or maybe some good food. They give to everyone, just not you. Like that. Then this is a little bit obvious. But even though it is like that, then if we have wise attention, then we will try not to guess their intentions. We just say we can just contemplate about karma and think that others people have, because others have good karma. My karma maybe, my good karma maybe not enough. Never mind. I just continue to be kind in a wise way lah. Of course, to be kind to everyone like that. But if others capitalize and manipulate and my kindness, then I will be kind to them with wisdom. And with wisdom means sometimes you have to maintain a distance with them. Sometimes you may have to avoid some communication or avoid working together with them. That may be possible, but when we do this, we should always try to do it without the mind of anger. Rather, we have to try to replace it with a mind of what? Brahma Viharas, right? Like that. Okay. So this queen bee syndrome, or always want to be the queen bee. Yeah? It's very sometimes very prevalent. Maybe not only in the Chinese community, but anywhere. Because sometimes if people have unwise attention, and when they do something, they want the power. They want the power and all that. Then they may act for the harm of others. Then arise a lot of anger and arise a lot of jealousy in the community, right? So if anyone is like that, so please try not to do that. Okay, please try not to do that. And also, please try not to use just now what we call the kind of green tea or the white lotus way of method to harm others, to excommunicate others, to bring others down or something like that. This will not be good and beneficial for our meditation, right? Because you see, in the commentary for the verse 365, it says also, he's not hostile towards those of good conduct. So in the meditation, in our meditation community, okay, like what our beloved teacher Bhante Mettānanda says, don't judge others, okay? Because the Buddha says only one who has the same power as a Buddha can judge others, right? So one of the safest way to stay in a community of meditators is don't go and judge others. Don't go and judge others. Then we just maintain our mind, with wholesomeness, and there's no excuse for unwholesome bodily, verbal, and mental conduct. No excuse. No excuse. Okay. You cannot control is one thing, but there's no excuse, like that. So don't have excuse for ourselves, but it doesn't mean you suppress yourself. Don't take it the wrong way. Okay. What I'm just trying to say is that yes, there's no excuse for any kind of bodily, verbal, and mental conduct within our meditation community. That will be the safest way of behavior for us. But if the kind of a mind arises, or if we accidentally, without mindfulness, without wise attention, did something wrong by verbal and bodily conduct, then we should try to We should try to practice forgiveness. Practice forgiveness, acknowledge the mistake, and try not to do it the next time. So this is the spirit of the monk's confession. When the monks has committed a transgression, that means they have committed an offense of the monk's rules and regulation, then depending on the category of offense that they have committed, so for some, they just have to confess to a fellow monk. So the gist, the meaning of the confession is that, Venerable Sir, I confess all my offenses. Okay. So the other Venerable will say, oh, okay, Bhante. Then then the offender will say, oh, I confess all my offenses in all categories, like that. Then the other Venerable will say, okay, then have you seen your mistake? Then the offender monk will say, oh, yes, I have seen my mistake. And the other monk will say, okay, then please try to restrain yourself in the future. Then the offender monk will say, yes, I will restrain myself in the future. And they have to say 3 times, I will restrain myself in the future. I will restrain myself in the future. then after that, the morality is purified already. And for some more severe offenses, of course, they have to go through some actions from given by the Sangha community. But generally, the normal offenses, the other classes of offenses, can be purified just by this confession. That's why maybe in Sri Lanka, or maybe in Nauyana, in Paok, in Dhamma Earth, so you will see monks maybe sometimes after chanting, then they will do confession. Like that. Is to keep the morality pure. But the spirit of this confession is that we can learn from this spirit of confession is that if we see something wrong, okay, acknowledge it, because we are not arahants, we are not anagamis, we are not sagadagamis, we are not sotapannas. We may not even have practiced until vipassana. We may not even have practiced until samatha. We may not have samadhi. We may still be struggling with our defilements. So, yes, defilements do arise. Mistakes will be committed, may be committed. Okay? So when we understand that, we acknowledge it, and then we make a mental restraint, telling, oh, okay, I shall try to restrain myself in the future, like that. Okay? Then, when we do this confession, when monks do this confession, then it is finished already. So whenever we make a mistake, if we take the theory, the basic logic behind this, it applies also for lay people also. So if we make a mistake, okay, acknowledge that we make a mistake, then learn to forgive ourselves, let go of the emotional burden, and we just try harder not to commit that in the future. Again and again. If you need to confess, if you need to do this determination, confession and determination 100 times before you change, then you do it 100 times. If you need to do it 1,000 times before you can change, then you do 1,000 times. If you need to do 1,000,000 times before you change, then just do it, just change. But as long as we have not given up the fight, okay, as long as we have not given up the fight, the struggle to change, then it's okay. But we must be actively trying to change ourselves for the better, like that. And in the end, we only have ourselves to answer whether you are really trying, or you just okay lah. I still have 1,000 chances. Maybe I do another 500 lah. Not like that. Every time we acknowledge the mistake, forgive ourselves, and then we try to restrain ourselves in the future sincerely, wholeheartedly. And the next moment, we try to refrain from it again, like that. Okay. So with this kind of attitude, it trains us. It trains us to have a character that is, we'll try not to make a mistake. But if a mistake really arises, then we know how to face it without more unwholesomeness. Because sometimes, some people, they can blame themselves for 10 years and they still don't change it. So the blaming may not be that. May not be that positive also, because of guilt and all that. And having guilt and anger over oneself, over something that one has done before, in terms of karma, it doesn't help the situation, actually. Like that. Actually, when we fall into unwholesome mind states, and get angry over ourselves because we may have made one mistake or two, then actually we are generating more unwholesomeness. So the wise way is to acknowledge it, forgive ourselves, and learn from it. Hey, how to prevent this in the future, and move on like that. So in this way, we can bounce back from adversity very, very quickly if we have this kind of attitude, like that. So coming back, whenever we are in a meditation community, the golden rule is the golden rule to keep ourselves safe is no matter whether the other person, how evil is that person, we should try to cultivate a mind of loving kindness and forgiveness and compassion. If loving kindness doesn't work, compassion. And if compassion doesn't work, then equanimity. If equanimity doesn't work, then we contemplate about cause and effect. And if cause and effect doesn't work, then maybe we have to stay away from the person for some time. And this is given in the Anguttara Nikaya, chapters of 5 ways to remove grudges. Okay. So this is how, in real life we can practice. Even when you see those deceptive people, deceptive, evil, narcissist, queen bee in your workplace or in the meditation community, this is how we can have wise attention. But we don't want so many trouble, right? So it's best to just it's best to avoid them. And if they are intruding into your meditation, they are causing disturbance to your meditation, even though you have maintained noble silence and just don't see, don't hear, but they still, maybe because of our past karma and also because of their pattern and their unwise attention, so they come and disturb, then you should report to the management. Okay, let the management or your teacher handle the case like that. So let's go to the next one. Coming back, let's go to the next one. So remember after saying all that, the gist of it is, no matter how evil that person is, no matter who it is that is creating disturbance and using a lot of evil deceptions, tricks to maybe cause disturbance or harm to you or your friends, let us continue to have compassion, because what they are doing, what you are experiencing, and what they are doing to you, ultimately when the karma ripens, it will go back to them. Okay, and sometimes it's because of our own karma also, like that. So we just take it that they are exhausting our karma law. Of course, if we can influence them not to do it, we try lah. But if not, then we just have to have wise attention. And if it gets too bad, then you have please report to the management, like that. Okay, so the next one, the next base of anger. They acted for the benefit of one who is displeasing and agreeable to me. They are acting for the benefit of one who is displeasing and disagreeable to me. Oh, they help my enemy. They had helped my enemy. They are helping my enemy, and they will help my enemy. Okay, like that. So not only friends, not only if people disturb your friends, you get angry. If people help your enemy, also you get angry. Whether it's past, present, or future, isn't it? Like that. So we can see in the let's say, take an example just now from the the narcissist queen bee syndrome, or the green tea syndrome, or the white lotus syndrome. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Why do they want to harm others? Why do they want to excommunicate others? Why do they want to create division among people. Ultimately, if we look at the 9 reasons that we have, the 9 bases of anger that we have talked until now, and actually we can find that it is for the what? For the I, the feeling of I. Oh, I must not be harmed. My friends must not be harmed. My enemies should suffer, like that, right? So a lot of my I. So how do we, if we are the person that is the green tea or the white lotus, unfortunately, if we are those kind of people, then you want to change. How do you change? Basically, the Buddha prescribed loving kindness, especially for letting go of anger. So these 10 reasons to get angry, we have talked about 9. So if we cultivate loving kindness truly, sincerely, and we are mindful about our evil, the pattern of the mind to engage in this kind of a green tea, white tea, or this queen bee syndrome, And if we are aware, then we refrain from it and we continue to develop loving kindness and forgiveness. Then gradually we are able to change ourselves. Because in a community of, let's say, meditators, they are keeping their morality every day, they are keeping their mind pure every day, and some, they have practiced up to samadhi, they practice up to vipassana, maybe some are even noble beings. If we do like that to them, then actually we accumulate a lot of unwholesome karma, and a lot of obstructive karma that obstructs our meditation also, because we may have unwisely offended a noble one. So if we have unwisely offended a noble one, we have to go and ask for forgiveness one day, like that. If not, then the meditation will not improve. This is not so good. So the best way is if we were to analyze one by one, it is quite difficult. But if we were to understand the basic logic of it, all of it comes from anger and jealousy. So if we can just purify the anger and jealousy with loving kindness, with compassion, with sympathetic joy, with equanimity, and with contemplation of karma and cause and conditions, then we will be able to transcend it. We will be safe in the meditation community, like that. So the last base of anger, the last reason to get angry is one becomes angry without a reason. Okay. And that may also be true, Sometimes we also get angry without reason, right? Yeah, but a lot of times karma plays a big role in this kind of situation. It may be a very dominant factor, like that. Okay. So if we want to properly stay in the world, we want to properly wander in the world, let us develop loving kindness towards ourselves, towards those whom we love and respect, towards those who are neutral, those that we see on the streets, whether it's humans or other beings, and also beings that meant harm to us. So we see the benefit of practicing loving kindness meditation here, because when one has practiced loving kindness meditation, and they may have attained up to the 3rd jhana, so they have to practice loving kindness and enter into the loving kindness jhana based for the for these few categories of people, except themselves, because if one cannot attain jhana through radiating metta to oneself, but to the group of people whom they respect and love, from the group of people who are neutral, and the group of people who are displeasing or enemy, like that. Then when they do that, gradually they really replace the emotion, the feeling. If we look at it from a feeling point of view, they replace the anger with loving kindness towards enemies. So wonderful, isn't it? Just imagine, no enemy in the world. You are kind to everyone. You have a loving heart to everyone. Very wonderful. Okay? So when that happens, then there's no incentive for you to, want to be the queen bee, or you want to excommunicate others so that you stand out to be the queen bee, or you will not act because of jealousy, because we have good emotions, right? Like that. Okay? And for those, if unfortunately you're in a situation where your friend is a queen bee, so be smart lah, be wise lah. If they say something and you find that because of them saying something, you want to hit somebody, you want to excommunicate somebody, you want to be jealous about somebody, you have a bad impression about somebody, be careful. Okay, be very careful. Because this is in Chinese what we call 借刀杀人. You will be the cannon fodder. They will sometimes those with green tea syndrome or white lotus syndrome, they will be the most beautiful and good one. But those around them, they will fight and they will oppose those that she influenced them too. Okay, so be mindful about our bodily, verbal, and mental actions. Okay, let's try not to have hatred towards anyone, no matter how people influence you. Even people whom you believe are good people, if they are really good, they will not influence you to excommunicate others like that. It is in this way that we also understand whether a person is really good or no good. If the person only talks about Dhamma, talks about forgiving others, sometimes maybe a little bit, because of karma, maybe a little bit, if they are not Anagami or Arhat, maybe a little bit resentment, but they never want to harm anyone. They want to talk bad about anyone. Then these are the kind of people that you can stay with. But if somebody, they portray themselves as very good, very humble, very kind, always give you gifts and all that, but then those that are opposed to them, then they will, they will in one way or another, maybe sometimes even say good things about them. But you find that when they say good things about them, then you become angry. Then be careful. Maybe they may not have that intention, but for us, if we get angry, then there's no excuse to get angry. There's no excuse for unwholesome mind, right? Why you want to get angry? Like that. So in a meditation community, very, very important to keep our mind pure, to keep our mind in wholesome states, and not want to hate, harm, or jealous about anyone. And if those unwholesome states arise, then let us have wise attention to it, and refrain from indulging and following those thoughts or feelings, like that. In this way, we will be safe. In this way, we will not be hostile towards those of good conduct. And in this way, we will not have obstacles to prevent us from realizing the Dhamma of the Four Truths by the means of the Four Paths. Okay? So very, very important, like that. Okay, so let's see, huh? Let's wait. Let me go back. Okay. Okay. So that's my that's what I want. I think I want to bring up, as a reminder, for the first verse. The second verse, the 10 bases of insult. So what are the 10 bases of insult? Okay. So 10 bases of insult. This is also should be in the Anguttara Nikaya. So what are they? So if somebody says, "Oh, you are a bandit," you are a fool, you are an idiot, you are a thief, you are a camel, you are a ram. A ram is some kind of animal. You are a bull, you are an ass, you are an animal, you are bound for hell. Then these are the 10 bases of insult. Okay, so when one, if we want to properly wander in the world, so even though insulted, we should not try to nurture resentment. We should not. We should. We should try to purify. Remember, I say purify, not suppress. We should try not to nurture resentment like that. Okay, we should try to purify the resentment. Many people, when they get angry and when the emotions arises up, very difficult for them, to remember to purify the anger. So it is very beneficial if you go to a retreat and for maybe 1 month, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 months or more, cultivate strong mindfulness, calmness, loving kindness. And when we keep our mind always in wholesome states, then when unwholesome state arises, you will be more sensitive to it. Because of the strong mindfulness, we will be more easily aware of it. Okay? Like that. So in this verse also, I think one point that I want to bring up also is that, in life, the Buddha also say, though insulted, he should not nurture resentment. So in life, that means in life, sure, sometimes we will get insulted, right? Sure, sometimes we will be called an idiot by others. Sure, sometimes people will tell us, hey, you go to hell, like that. So, you see, many people, when they are being insulted, they get a lot of anger. Oh, how can they insult me? How can they scold me? How can they say this about me? But sometimes we live in a world where in the domain of cause and effect, anything is possible, right? So if you will be praised by others, why shouldn't we be blamed by others? Right? If we have gained, why wouldn't we have lost? Right? If we have a lot of followers, why would there be a situation where we may not have followers? And when we have happiness, why would there be a situation where we may have suffering? So loss of gain, okay, having no followers, okay, and being blamed, and also having suffering, it's all part of the world. It's all part of samsara. If life is just sunshine and rainbow, then why you want to why you want to go for nibbana, right? No, samsara doesn't work like that. We live in a half-blinded world. We just see. Sometimes we just see and expect the good to happen to us. We expect to have gain. We expect to have praise. We expect to have happiness, we expect to have a lot of followers. But sometimes, samsara is not the case like that. So if we can always cultivate the perception that, oh, okay, we are insulted. Yes, this is possible. It doesn't mean to say that it's right, okay? But it's just mean to say that this phenomena is possible, okay? And if we lose something, yeah, it's possible. If things don't go good for us, yeah, it's possible. If things go good for us, it's possible. Good and bad, it's all possible. Possible. It's all possible. If we continue to always remind ourselves like that, and gradually, if it becomes one of your life values, okay, which is, this is in accordance with Dhamma, right? Then we actually are free from a lot of suffering. Why? Because, if a person insults you, say call you a pig today, maybe 10 years later, you're still thinking, why that person called me a pig? I'm not a pig. You work so hard to prove that you are not a pig. For what, right? Aiyo. So instead, if we have wise attention, if we understand and live by this law of nature that anything is possible, then we would have let go already, because it is natural, ma. Just like the flowers, they may bloom, but they will also bitter, right? So it is all possible. So once when people insult us, when we contemplate that, oh yeah, it's possible also, then we let go. We let go of the emotion, because it's actually very normal to get insulted. Okay? Then once we let go of the emotions, we are able to accept that this is a possible phenomenon. We accept it. We let go of the emotions. Then we are in a better state to think of, okay, what can we do next? Okay? If we always get insulted then we should reflect on our behavior, right? Reflect on our behavior, study the criticism wisely. And then if there's nothing wrong with us, we ask our teachers, there's also nothing wrong with us. It's just other people's, unwise attention and negative emotions. Then we can just continue with life, right? But if there's a mistake, then we learn and we change for the better. And you see, when we do like this, okay, we may just need to suffer for maybe, depending on how strong your mindfulness is, we may just need to suffer for maybe just 5 minutes. But for those who keep thinking and holding it and harboring this resentment in their mind, like the commentary says, the good example should not harbor resentment, should not be irritated. But if we are not the good example, then we harbor the resentment, we harbor irritation. Whenever we see the person, we keep remember, this person called me a pig 2 weeks ago. Then you suffer for 2 weeks already. Then 1 month later, you see this person. Your mood actually very good one, that day. Maybe you want to go for holiday already, or maybe you are even in the holiday already. Then you see that person, then you think, that person called me a pig 1 month ago. Then you get angry and lose all your mood for your holiday. For what, right? For what? It's not worth it, right? Not worth it. Okay. So when we live life, always contemplating and reminding ourselves of the realities of samsara, reminding ourselves that, good is possible, unpleasantness also possible, then we will lessen our suffering. We will be able to bounce back from adversity more easily, more quickly, and be able to make good changes very quickly. And is this the life you want? I hope so. And most importantly, we will not harbor that resentment and irritation in us for maybe 10 years, 20 years. Then we have to suffer for another 10, 20 years. For what, right? Yeah, like that. So now we can understand why the Buddha say, for someone who does not harbor resentment, even though insulted, they will properly wander in the world. Like that. And how do we not harbor resentment? Contemplating about that, the realities of samsara, that this is possible, may help us also. Okay? Like that. And then the bhikkhu should not be elated thinking, oh, he venerates me, and should not be intoxicated over food gained from others. Today I was talking with my, talking with my my father. I happen to be in Singapore. So he was like saying, oh, many people, before they get rich and powerful, they are very kind and humble. But when they are rich and powerful, then they totally change, And he says this is human nature. And I say, then I also share my views. Of course, he has his right to his own view. And then I share my view that, yes, it is part of human nature, but this is only one manifestation of human nature. Actually, whether they lost themselves or not, it depends on their morality and their mind. If they have integrity, if they are mindful, if they are honest, and their level of morality is high, then they will not lose themselves over gain. But if their morality is low, or maybe even sometimes it's just a lapse of wise attention. It is a lapse in their mindfulness, causing that unwise attention to arise. Then definitely they will do something bad because of the power, because of the gain. So the gain and all that, it doesn't mean that people should not get, Buddhists should not get gains, Buddhists should be poor, Buddhists should be, no, not like that. But rather it is whether the beings themselves have the moral integrity and the pureness of the mind to keep the pure mind, even though they have gains, like that. So how do they do that? Actually, for lay people, quite difficult without meditation practice. But that's why if they continue to purify their mind, continue to change their character, continue to improve, continue to increase their mindfulness practice, then they may have more control over themselves when temptation arises. Okay? Like that. So not easy, especially this is related to conceit. Sometimes we may think, okay, I help you. Don't worry, I help you. Like that, like very generous, like that. Yes, there will be generosity. There is the generosity mind, wholesome mind. But sometimes there may be conceit also, like that. So how to know whether there's conceit or not? Usually conceit, the basic logic of conceit, coming back, is comparison. Because it's either superiority, from one point of view, it's either superiority, inferiority, or equality. So when there's either of these three, there's comparison. So we try not to compare. We understand each dana and each person, each action, each phenomena as just conditions. And this condition will bring good results in the future. It will bring good conditions in the future, like that. The more we contemplate like that, the more we refrain from thinking about I, my, like that. Then the less we think about that, and the more we think about the phenomena are just phenomena, cause and conditions, then we are less inclined to arise conceit. when we have a lot of gains like that. Like that. I think that's what I want to bring out out of these two suttas. So remember, for us, if we have whether we are those who have the green tea or white lotus or queen bee syndrome, or we are the victims of those who have this syndrome. Let those who harm and be harmed. So those doing the harming and those who are being harmed in the world be free from causes of suffering. Embrace compassion, have compassion, whether it's the one doing the harm or the one being harmed. Let us have compassion for each other, and also to let go of hostility, to let go of resentment, to let go of those unwholesome and evil actions. Okay, and also not to harbor resentment, even though we are insulted. And to be careful about conceit when we have a lot of gains. Okay, so these are the few points that I think that have inspired me when I read these two verses. Okay, so with that, wish all of you well, peaceful, and happy, and may the Triple Gem bless all of us to be able to attain path, fruition, and nibbana as soon as possible. Okay, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That's the talk for today. So let us share merits. Okay. Etavata chammehi sambadang punya sambadang sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Etavata chammehi sambadang punya sambadang sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Etavata chammehi sambadang punya sambadang sabbe sattva numodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Idame nyati nam hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idame nyati nam hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idame nyati nam hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Himina punya kamena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana patiya. Hidame punyang asavakaya vahang hotu. Hidame punyang nibbana sapachayo hotu. Mama punya bhagang sabba sattanam bhajemi. Te sabbe me sammang punya bhagang labantu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.